breaking news alert.
And it's been a deadly start to the morning. 3 people killed in accidents across the Mid-South. One fatal accident in East Shelby County, the other in Marshall County, Mississippi. As you mentioned, it's probably going to be about between 100 and 150,000 people here throughout tomorrow, so it should be an exciting time. And let me tell you, folks are already setting up the vendors. The restaurant marks the 50th anniversary since the Freedom Summer. Hundreds of volunteers from across the country traveled to Mississippi fighting to get rid of segregation. Today, we're featuring 2 of those Freedom Summer volunteers. Police and fire units are investigating a house explosion in Osceola, Arkansas. This all happened this morning around 5:20 on Mockingbird Lane. The cause is uncertain at this time, but it may be due to natural gas. The gas company is out there testing right now. Chick-fil-A is hosting its 3rd annual daddy-daughter date night at the Memphis Zoo next Wednesday. We're told that about 25 procedures are done in these rooms weekly, and doctors tell us that they're pleased with these added tools and how they've helped to make their jobs more effective. They're now accepting applications for MLGW's winter moratorium. It provides uninterrupted service for disabled customers or those 60 years or older. To qualify, you must have proof of age or disability.
Wow, that's an amazing story to hear. Just to imagine that this important piece of Memphis history, this important piece of American history may not be here today if it weren't for those Memphians who were kind of thinking ahead and say, hey, this place can be special. This place can be not only a place where we remember Dr. Martin Luther King, but a place where we can teach people about African American history, where we can teach people about the civil rights struggle. And, you know, it all started here. That is an amazing story.
This morning with all of this snow and ice, Local 24 meteorologist Sean Parker picks up our team coverage in the Weather Center. And Sean, I think it's safe to say that everybody was caught off guard with this. But the big question, are we in for any more trouble later on this afternoon? One local church is about to celebrate 150 years right here in the city of Memphis. St. James AME Church in downtown Memphis will mark the historic anniversary this Sunday. We've been hearing these folks yell and scream every few minutes because somebody may call in with a $100 donation or a $200 donation. So we would love to get something like that, but whatever you can give. And again, remember that number. It's 901-321-7644. And again, we've been talking about Tish Clark this morning. She's in Tupelo, Mississippi, telling those emotional stories of the folks who've gone through so much this morning. And we want to toss it back out to her in Tupelo. And Tish, obviously, this must be pretty emotional for you as well, because you're right there on the ground talking to those folks, and you're hearing firsthand everything they've been going through over the last few days. We Honor Our Veterans is a program that pairs combat veteran patients and combat veteran volunteers. It's a touching relationship that, as we discovered, benefits both sides.
I wanted to do something that would contribute and make a difference to veterans. Mo, how are we doing?
Rodney Fowler knows the true importance of sacrifice. The Air Force vet spent nearly 40 years in military service. He lives by the lessons his father taught him so many years ago.
This country doesn't owe you anything, but you owe it everything. And that's just my creed from the very beginning.
He's giving back now through the We Honor Our Veterans program here at Baptist Reynolds Hospice House in Collierville. The program pairs combat vets. The idea is to form a friendship and a family for the patients, many of whom may not have much family left.
It's just a way for us to say thank you.
The presence of somebody who knows what they went through. Somebody can appreciate the sacrifice they made.
One of the more touching parts of this program is the pinning ceremony. Each patient is pinned with an American flag.
You spent a few years of your life
a small honor for those who've given so much.
Fighting for a flag.
Fowler has become fast friends with Army veteran Leonard Rogers.
That means a great deal to you and I.
We were privileged enough to be allowed in for this touching ceremony.
I'm going to put this pin on you.
One last honor for heroes like Rogers, and a thank you from other vets like Fowler.
You know, it seems that he's lived a good life. He was loyal to his God, he's loyal to his country, he was loyal to his family. And the best thing to be said, he's a good man. And in a very short period of time, he was a good friend.
Here inside the chapel at the hospice house, this encased American flag is draped over the casket of every military vet that leaves here. One more honor for those who gave so much for this country. Rodney Dunigan, Local 24 News. Most folks probably don't know, but right here in the Mid-South, we have one of the best trap shooting teams in the country. The Arlington High School Trappers have won 4 out of the last 5 national titles. Their coach calls them, get this, the Yankees of trap shooting. We recently went to a practice to check out the kids for ourselves. Take a look at what we discovered in this week's Local Cool Kid Report.
Boom!
This as you can imagine, takes plenty of skill. Not only hand-eye coordination, but the timing and patience to know when to pull the trigger.
It's just a mental aspect, really, with most of what you do. And anything that you do can upset how you shoot.
Ready? Y'all too. These kids with the Arlington High School Trappers are some of the country's best.
You have to focus on each bird at a time, and you can't worry about what you've already shot. That's the main thing. You have to know you're going to hit each bird, and you can't worry at all about what's been.
The team has won 4 out of the last 5 Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation national titles. It's easy to see why. The Arlington Trappers have become a national powerhouse.
We've been successful at every level. We've won most of the district championships in the last 9 years, most of the regional championships. We've missed 2 regionals, and we won a couple state championships and placed in the state many times.
These kids have put in hours and weeks of work to become some of the best.
I've done it since my sophomore year of high school. My brother started with it, and I decided to go along with them and try it out, and I love it.
That hard work has not only helped to make them champions, but they're proving to be cool kids as well. Former University of Memphis basketball player Trey Draper is known on campus and in the community for his big smile and positive attitude. Now, he spent 4 years as a walk-on for the Tigers, and after graduating this past year, he took on a position as an assistant coach at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Now, everything in his life seemed to be on the right track. That is until he was sidetracked with a recent medical diagnosis. Now, a rare eye disorder could not only affect his sight, but his future. We look more into this issue in this morning's Local Health Alert. Trey Draper has been in love with the game of basketball since he was a kid. When he first picked up a ball, he knew somehow he wanted to be involved with the game for the rest of his life. He decided coaching was his way.
As a coach, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to impact young ones' lives and keep some of them off the street because they actually changed my life.
His passion started here on the court at Mitchell High. The love, determination, and hard work eventually led him to the University of Memphis, where he was a 4-year walk-on member of the team.
And it was just a blessing just to be able to be a part of it. And Coach Passner, you know, he told me he knew what I wanted to do, and I wanted to be a coach. So before I signed and before I, took that journey, he told me that he'd help me build to where I wanted to get to, and I'm just forever grateful for that.
Draper just graduated this past year and recently took a job as a graduate assistant at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Everything in his life was smooth sailing until a routine eye exam led to a troubling discovery.
My mother wanted me to do some, just random, tests and checkups. Went to the eye doctor, and it came back that I might have an eye diagnosis called keratoconus. I got a second opinion on it, and that's what it was.
Draper was diagnosed with keratoconus, a degenerative disorder of the eye that can cause a substantial distortion of vision.
To simplify it, your eye's supposed to be shaped like a basketball. Mine's kind of shaped like a football. And so what the surgeon would do is going to try to reform the cornea to go back to being a circle. That way, your vision won't be blurred by certain things and just something like that. That's the best way that I can put it.
The cause of this disorder is unknown. Doctors at Memphis Eye and Cataract Associates referred him to experts in Indianapolis for treatment. He now has to undergo 2 experimental surgeries in order to hopefully correct the problem. The first this week. Draper says the outpouring of support he's received from U of M basketball fans and the Memphis community in general has been overwhelming. For now, he plans to keep that smile and keep being positive, hopeful. This is just a bump in the road.
I'm not the type to complain, I know what I have, and, it's not a pity party. I just have to do what I have to do to survive and get by it, and I'm just blessed we was able to catch it early, because who knows if we caught it 5-10 years down the line, or maybe who knows what could happen.
Now, these experimental surgeries that Trey needs are not covered by insurance, with the first surgery actually set for this coming Wednesday, July 9th. Now, each surgery has a cost of about $2,000, and he will need at least 2 of these procedures. Trey and his parents will have to make 4 trips to Indiana to meet with eye specialists there in addition to the cost of those surgeries.